For this sequence, I want you to grab your ball, and we're going to be starting with the Psoas Release against the wall. So for this, we're going to work to open up the front of these hips to activate your hamstrings and glutes, which play such a big role in helping to get rid of and prevent back pain, help to strengthen our deep core. So let's go ahead and get started. So with this ball, we want to place it in the front of our hip here. We're going to go against the wall, and I want you to lengthen tall. We're going to lift this left heel, and you can use your other arm for support if you'd like. We're going to exhale as we push our heel down and we zip our belly up. So we're getting a little pressure into our lower abdomen. Inhale to come back up, and exhale to press. Good, feeling nice and tall, visualizing this nice diagonal line through our lower abdomen. Last two. And last one here. Okay, coming up, using our core and our legs to bring us away from the wall. Let's go ahead and place it against our right hip. And now remember, every time you do this sequence, you can alternate which side you start on to release your psoas. So, lifting tall. I want you to exhale as you press your heel away from you, zipping up that low belly, feeling that little pressure into your lower abdomen. Inhale to lift back up. Exhale. Inhale back up. Visualize your body growing taller, releasing through that psoas, those deep abdominal muscles that can pull into our low back. Last two. And last one here. Good, then go ahead and core lightly on. Use those legs, we're coming away from the wall. Moving into our standing leg series. So for this, you have the option to either use the ball as I'm going to show, or you can absolutely do these without the ball as well. So standing against the wall, this is great because we get a little support. You're going to take the ball behind your left leg. So the right leg that we're standing on, this is good balance practice here. Feel your foot pressing into the ground, soften your knees so that you feel your quads working, you feel your butt working, hamstrings, and I want you to lift up out of your pelvis. So try to avoid this rounding. We want to be tall, lifting through our sternum and the top of our head and sending this hip back. So again, having the wall there can be very helpful when we get started with these. With the ball behind your hamstring, behind the knee, again, you can do this without the ball. Sometimes initially that's easier to get started. I want you feeling as though you're pushing your leg back while you're lengthening up through the lower abdomen and zipping up tall. So little pulses first. Squeeze it for 5, 4, and wake up that hamstring. And then from here, I want you to feel like your little pushes back, using your glute and hamstring and not your low back. So we don't want to feel any of this working too much. We want to keep lengthening, hinging forward, and you're going to definitely feel work in that right hip. Just doing a couple of these. Okay, now keep pushing back here. We're going to add a little rotation. So we want to keep this out of the front of the hip. We're trying to open up through that hip. 3 and 2. Stay tall through your torso. Last one, and then go ahead and bring that leg in, grab the ball, or again, we'll do it without the ball if you like, and release the legs. So starting here, you want to lengthen up tall, send the sits bones back, so you're putting your weight into your left leg, foot pressing into the ground, put weight from your heel, midfoot, and into your toes, remember that good posture, and then let's grab that ball, or without the ball, square those hips up so you've got a lot of stability and strength going on in the left leg, and little squeezes of that hamstring with the right. Squeeze, squeeze with each exhale, wake that hamstring up. Okay, now keep lightly squeezing the ball or your imaginary ball, and little pushes back with that right leg. Using your glutes, zipping up through the belly, feeling a lot of strength happening from this left hip. Okay, now adding rotation here, a little rotation with that right hip. And your hips may feel different on each side. You're always welcome to stop and repeat these as well. Okay, last one. And then go ahead and release. Standing up nice and tall. So now that we've got that activation happening from the underside of our legs, we're going to turn around and work on starting to introduce some squats. Because squats are so important for function throughout our day, I'm going to slowly introduce them to you. So the hamstring one that we just did is a really, really good one if you have a hard time activating the underside of your legs. So with that ball right at your tailbone sacrum, we're going to lean into the wall just like I am here. I want you to lengthen tall. We're always lifting up out of our pelvis. Knees are soft here, and we can adjust our legs. We can keep them parallel, or we can take them out a little wider. And you can play around with the position of your legs. Most importantly here is we don't want to feel any pain ever in our knees or in our low back. So we want to lift up out of our pelvis with our nice strong core. And then from here, I want you to lower down, but visualize your sits bones and your tailbone going towards the wall behind you. You don't have to go very low. You will feel the muscles above your knees starting to work, but our energy is going back to the wall behind us versus shifting forward. So it's exhale, pull up out of your pelvis with your deep core as you push with the underside of your legs and come up like 90% of the way straight, not all the way. I want to keep that connection in your legs. Inhale to lower, partway back down. Exhale, send those sits bones back behind you as you zip up. Inhale to lower, just letting those arms relax. And then lower back down, nice and slow. Feeling as though you're pulling up away from your knees to activate those quads. Let's do a couple more. Last two, so we're controlling on the way down. We want to stay connected the entire exercise. Last one here, feeling strong and connected. I want you to come all the way up. Make sure that that ball is still at your sacrum, so you may have to adjust it a little bit if it moved. Bringing your feet closer to hip width apart. We're going to stand tall and do some little pelvic tilts here. So pushing into the ball, I want your knees nice and soft, but not overly bent. And then I want you to exhale, just do a little tiny pelvic tilt like we've practiced on the ground. Pushing your lower back in to the ball, and then inhale as you lengthen, feeling movement happening from the pelvis, staying light and open. Visualize space happening through the front of your hips. And then exhale, visualize the base of that pelvic floor, lightly drawing together, pulling up. And then exhale. Good, inhale. Lifting tall, exhale, and you can go ahead and round your upper back a little bit if you want to push into the wall. Inhale to lengthen. Good, last two. So even on your inhale, while you're breathing, we're still feeling a little connection through your abdominal wall. Last one. Growing tall here, and then go ahead and find back to neutral so you can feel connected through your core, but you don't feel any pressure in your back. Okay, let's go ahead and put this ball off to the side for right now. And as we come up, we're using our legs, right, to bring us up. Core is on. We're going to work on some basic push-ups against the wall. So good for not only our chest, yes, but I challenge you to actually feel your core, your ribs, and your mid-back doing a lot more of the work than you feel your chest. I actually want you to feel expansion across your chest. So doing these against the wall, even if you know how to do them in a more advanced position, I challenge you to do this more simplistic version first. So feet hip width apart, or you can bring them together, whatever feels best for you. And I want you to lengthen up. Feel like you're pressing your feet into the ground, pull up on those quads, lightly activate your glutes and hamstrings. And then again, hands, we may have to adjust the hands a little bit, or you can come a little closer as well. And notice my hands are slightly rotated in a little bit here. So we're lifting our sternum, just like we do with our nice tall posture, zipping up through our low belly. And then on our inhale, I want you to feel as though you're still lengthening, and I want you to bring your body in with your mid-back. So we actually want to feel more mid-back working than chest. Just go part way. And then as you exhale, I want you to zip up through your low belly more, wrap the ribs, and then we push. And when you get to here, notice length through your upper back. We want to avoid this. So it's lifting. So we're starting to feel the spiraling around into the ribs. And again, if you don't feel that much right now, it will come. So inhale to lower. Breathe out to our sides and our back and stay lightly connected. Exhale, start to zip, wrap the ribs, open across the chest. Feel like your sternum is kind of beaming towards that wall right in front of you. Inhale to lower. Exhale, zip and press. Last three. Okay, from there, let's go ahead and lengthen out our spine to finish this sequence. So bringing those hands more parallel in front of you, legs back a little farther. I want you to stay active, always lifting up out of your pelvis. And then as we go back, you're lengthening upward, but I want you to send those sits bones back, spiraling those shoulders underneath you. Deep breath, inhale. And exhale, press the feet into the ground, lifting up, using those legs, using that deep core, low belly, lift your chest. Let's do 2 more. Inhale, lengthen with each one, challenge your range a little bit more, but keep your head up out of your chest, so we don't want our head to just drop down. I want you to be active through that mid-back, and exhale, press, come up. I want you using your legs. Inhale to go back, and exhale, press. Feeling strong through our legs, through our core. Come on in and come on up. Okay, great job on this sequence today, and I can't wait to see you again soon.